Far from the rest of the world lies a distant desert land, Gliding Across. It is trapped by some of the world's tallest sand dunes. For thousands of years, the land here was very fertile, but it is now being threatened. The Gobi Desert is the fourth largest desert in the world. It's growing larger by hundreds of kilometers every year. The desert's fast and unstoppable growth may soon change the lives of everyone around it. Two National Geographic explorers, Don Webster and George Steinmetz, have arrived in the urban bustle of modern China. However, they're still far from their destination. The two explorers are traveling northwest to the small, untouched part of the Gobi Desert called Gliding Across. It's a region that some people think the rest of the world forgot. Steinmetz and Webster travel as far as the edge of the desert. Here they must wait for a camel team to guide them farther into the Gobi. They wait, but the team doesn't come. Finally, they decide to camp for the night and hope that the team will arrive tomorrow. Early the next morning, their guide, Lao Ji, and his camels finally arrive. Lao Ji has 22 camels and they know the desert well. He was born and raised in this arid region, so he'll be able to take the explorers safely into the desert. The group carefully plans their route. This is important because the Gobi is huge and it can get very hot. It could be easy to get lost in this dry, empty place. The team needs to work with one another to ensure that they can successfully reach their destination. As the group begins their long trek deep into the desert, the dunes slowly rise beside them. The temperature rises too. By noon it reaches 120 degrees Fahrenheit and there's no shade from the sun.
I think getting lost here would either be bad or it could be very bad. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's amazing. This is like the result of 40 million years of winds.
By day 3, the dunes are more than 1,000 feet high. It takes one full day to climb a single sand mountain.
I think this is about as inner as you get in Inner Mongolia. 4 days by camel through 1,000-foot dunes. This place time forgot. It's just beautiful.
At last, the explorers reach Gliding Across. Steinmetz plans to meet his friend Alain Arnaud here, so they can paraglide over the Gobi. Finally, Arnaud arrives.
Ah, bonjour, monsieur! Bienvenue!
Hello!
The men are very happy to see each other.
Great to see you.
Oh, same for me.
We have a lot of stories to hear.
Sure, sure.
When darkness comes, the group gathers to have a good time.
It's nice to have a full tent.
In Mongolia, this often means eating mutton and listening to music. After all the wonderful food and drink, it's not easy to get up early. However, Steinmetz and Arnaud must prepare themselves for their first paraglide. Arnaud, one of the best paragliders in the world, has come to help Steinmetz.
This lake, this lake, this lake, this lake, and come back.
The two adventurers plan to fly over a number of different lakes and then return. Steinmetz is going first.
This engine maybe don't work so well.
No, it just didn't have enough power, and going towards these dunes, I didn't want to do
Yeah, sure.
a chance. So.
They try again and again.
You know, the same thing now when I try to go now, the engine has less power than when we were standing still.
The morning light is going fast and the wind conditions have become difficult. Then finally, after many failed attempts, Steinmetz manages to take off. Arnaud quickly follows.
Oh, he's having a good time.
The two men glide smoothly over the desert. Steinmetz is finally able to do what he really wants to do: get photos of the Gobi Desert from a bird's eye view.
The picture, the view I really want is being able to really understand what makes this place so unique. There's no other place in the world that has this size of dune and with lakes in between. It's the most beautiful place in the world to me.
From above, the photojournalist can see how small the desert makes people seem. He says that it's difficult to believe that people can actually live in it. The view also reminds him of another fact that's not so pleasant. The growing desert may soon completely change the lives of everyone around it. After his first trip, Steinmetz goes up to take one last picture. In his photographs, he wants to show the relationship between the desert and its people. For him, flying above the Gobi makes him feel closer to the desert itself. It also helps him to better understand the people who live there. For Steinmetz, gliding across the Gobi has been an experience he won't soon forget.